Okay, welcome back. It's time to work on the Mexi after long last. This thing's had a new clutch and is all running properly. That's been getting some attention, but that one's not mine. But now it's time for heater channels and A-pillar repairs. So, I've got this Clocker Home heater channel here. It's the new pressing and they're supposed to be quite a bit better than the old ones. The shape around the heater outlet there is nice and crisp. There's no weird wrinkles or anything. So I'm hopeful this is going to fit properly. However, it's not rust proofed inside at all. So the first thing to do is take the bottom plate off here by drilling out all of these spot welds, and then we can get it treated inside, because I don't want to be doing this job again anytime soon. With the bottom plate removed from the heater channel, you can see that there's absolutely no protection inside it whatsoever. So it was necessary to do this particular part of the work. So remove the heater tube, and then you can get access to the actual inside of the channel itself to paint it and prepare it. The heater tube itself needs to be taken apart, so that involves more drilling out of spot welds. Here it is in its two parts. Again, the inside of the tube isn't treated either, so that needed to be painted before it was welded back together. This is the inside of the channel now, treated with some black chassis paint that I got from a classic car show. It seems to have worked really well. It's a decent finish and it looks good. Here I've got the heater tube welded back together again. It's already painted inside, so it's just a case of redoing the spot welds and putting the angled end back on it. And then onto the A-pillar. The first thing to do is to take off this folded over metal strip here. It's just spot welded on in a couple of places, and it holds the edge of the carpet in place. Okay, yesterday I filmed a load of cutting out of the bottom of this A-pillar, filmed it all on my little GoPro camera, and it stopped recording partway through. I haven't yet checked how much footage there is, so you might have seen some footage, you might not. If not, you'll have to use your imagination. So anyway, it's cut out. This new one is in place. It's just sat there at the moment. There is a bit of a gap at the top of it that I'm going to have to address. That was my mistake, I marked it incorrectly. But we've got it in position now with this jig here, which locates the hinge points. So it's in the correct place and it sits nicely on the existing heater channel, but of course this is to be replaced, so I'm not going to weld it down to that. So it needs tacking into place there. On the inner wing here, the bottom part is quite rotten there, so I'll have to get a repair panel for that. There's also one of the bolts is stuck in the, snapped off in the thread there, so I'll get a replacement for that. I've just noticed it's welded to the channel there, that needs sorting out. There's probably some more further over, so right, crack on with this. Right, it's another day. I've cut out the rotten part of this inner wing here, cleaned up the existing heater channel. Now this is to be replaced, but at the moment it's actually in the correct location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the repair panel that I've got for here fit as if I was keeping this channel, and then I know it's in the right place. So I've cut all the rust out, drilled out the spot welds along there, and that blob of weld that was just along there. Interesting to note that the original panel, which this is because it's spot welded all along there, finishes at that point, whereas the replacement panel actually comes down to the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the original panel, sorry, I'm going to leave the replacement panel the full length down to here, and then always cut it back later if I need to make it match up with this. But at the moment I just want to make sure that this top edge and this top edge here, and particularly these 2 points here and this end, all line up. And that's the repair panel just clipped in place with the Clecos. Before I cut the other piece out, I just made sure that this bolt hole lined up with the existing one, drilled and put the Clecos in, and got the edge here to line up. Most of this doesn't matter. You can see the light on it that this panel has been damaged in shipping, but it doesn't matter because I only need this small piece from the bottom here, and this edge here doesn't quite line up with the fold, so I'll have to deal with that, but that's not a major issue. So next thing to do is mark the back of this and cut it out. So that's it, cut down and Clecoed into place. I've actually cut the panel a little bit too big because I'm going to use this tool here to joggle the edges and create a little step so that it sits behind. Easier to weld, neater job, and the fact that it's overlapping doesn't matter because it won't be seen behind. So yeah, that's the next step. And there we are, all joggled. This is nice and flush. That's just a little bit that I'm going to have to trim off. Nice and flush there. This still doesn't quite line up, but I can fix that. But that's it for this piece now. I'm not going to weld this in just yet because it could be in the way of doing the channels and of course the A-pillar as well. So it's trimmed to size. It can be located back in exactly the same place thanks to these Clecos. That's that job done for now. Right, I'm almost ready to take the body off now. Been round the car, around the floor pan edges, cut through, I think, all the crappy welds and the dodgy repairs, and it's not pretty, but it doesn't really matter because both the channels and the floor pan itself are being replaced. This back end of this floor pan and channel is a real mess. The other side's not much better. That's the jacking point. Got all the bolts. I've had to grind the heads off all these bolts. Oh, I missed one there. I'll do that one first, and then we can perhaps get the body lifted up. Hopefully, we will see. With the body and the chassis now separated, we can have a quick look at see what we're up against in terms of repairs. So chassis first, got the Napoleon's hat here, doesn't look too bad, a little bit crusty at that end, but I think it'll clean up. That area there of the frame head, although it's a mess, is actually quite solid, I think. Floor pan itself being replaced, not concerned about that because it's a mess. This rear outrigger section here looks a wee bit crispy at the end, but I've got new ones of those. Same on that side. This thing here is the mount for the ECU. I don't know if that's unique to Mexicans or whether it's on all fuel injection bugs, but I'll have to transfer that onto the new floor pan. This floor pan itself, as you can see, has seen better days. Same story at the front there. That end of the Napoleon's hat's a little bit crispy, but I think it might clean up okay. The other side there, under the fuel pump, I think that's all alright. It's just that area there looks a little bit weak. I'll have to clean that up with a wire brush and see where we're up to. But overall, no nasty surprises, I don't think, with the floor here. Looking at the body, starting at the back, we've got the valance and the bumper hangers that I did previously. Start on this side. Bit snotty looking there, a bit of light on that. Inner wing, mostly okay, but around the body mount there and the end of the heater channel, it's knackered. There's big holes everywhere. All underneath there, there's all holes. And that's obviously the end of the channel, which is to be replaced. New channel on this side already, so that's no problem. So I've got a new channel for this side already. Not too concerned about that. That's no surprise. That there's a body mount that's unique to Mexis. I'm going to have to lose that though when I replace the channel. This bulkhead section, get this side. This bulkhead section here, which is where the pedals are, not bad. A little bit crusty on that bottom corner. The rest of it's okay. The rest of the body up there under the dashboard is absolutely fine. No concerns there at all. Front inner wings, well, we've got that patch that I started repairing already. Rest of it's all okay. Bumper hangers, knew about those. Underneath, knew about that, so that's no surprise. I've got repair panels for this already. On to the side. This side's bumper hanger and inner wing. Again, no surprises there. I've got panels for that already. The bulkhead part is covered in horrible underseal, but it's actually quite solid, so no concerns there. This inner wing needs patching on that side and at the bottom there. This really terrible repair needs coming off, because whoever's done this has plated over some rust. So you can see from underneath that that part of the heat channel is rotten away. I might be able to repair that without replacing the channel, because most of the rest of the channel is okay. The bottom plate is rotten through. Let's come around this side so I can show you that. There we are. The bottom closing plate of the heater channel rotten, but I've got a replacement for that, so that's okay. Looking up in the channel itself, it doesn't look too bad. This end of it needs repair on the outside edge. Come around that side. On the outside edge of the heater channel there needs to be repaired. Rear wing, rear inner wing, same story really. Not as bad as the other side. This end of the channel's okay. Round the body mount there, I don't know if you can see that, I was pointing the camera in the right way. Round the body mount there needs to be repaired. And yeah, that's about it. No nasty surprises really, nothing that I wasn't expecting. Just a lot of work. Right, I think I'm going to call it for this video now. It's been a bit all over the place, but I've got the body off, so I'll do a bit of editing, get this video uploaded, and then hopefully we can get on to the next one fairly soon.